Welcome back, Lorcana players. It's Poisonous. Today's video is another gameplay video that we recorded during the opening weekend of Fabled. We're playing with the real cards now, no proxies, and the meta is a lot different, but we're cooking up some fun decks. So in this video, I'm playing the red-green Rockers list. This is based around Max Goof and the Powerline combo. So I'll quickly dive into the deck list. It's not a deck list video, but we'll go over the deck list and then we'll hop into some gameplay. Just before that, as always, appreciate you watching my content. Click the like button, go ahead and exert the subscribe button. Let's go on a quest together and leave a comment. Let me know what you think of the Fabled meta so far. It does seem a bit one-sided with blue-purple and purple-steel, but I'm trying to cook up other stuff to have some fun. So this is the deck list. There's a lot of Goofy movie content in here. We're running 4 copies of Bobby to help filter the deck. We're running 4 copies of Powerline, 4 copies of Queen of Hearts, 4 copies of the 3-cost Clarabelle. Card draw is kind of hard to come by, so she's pretty useful. Running 4 copies of Max Goof. He lets us recycle our songs and is very strong. Running a couple copies of Powerline that has Rush when you play a song. 3 copies of the Shift Queen of Hearts. 4 copies of Max Goof Chart Topper, 3 Shark, 4 Powerline World's Greatest Rockstar, and 4 Clarabelle. For actions, we're running Mother Knows Best, 2 You're Welcome, 4 BKU, 4 Pirate's Life, 3 Under the Sea, 2 Nothing We Won't Do, and 2 Eye to Eye. So there's a lot of big value songs here for Powerline, and then there's lots of smaller songs to use with Max Goof. So it's kind of a fun combo deck, and in this game, we're going to be playing a best of 3 against Amber Steel Aggro. Let's hop into the gameplay. So in game 1, I'm on the draw, which is unfortunate against an aggro deck. So my opponent starts by inking and playing Aurora, setting up for the possible turn 2 Tiana, which is kind of scary. We do have our turn 1 play of Bobby. This allows us to draw a card and then discard a card, which lets us filter through our deck. We're going to discard Eye to Eye here because it's very high cost and unlikely to see play in this game. We don't want to give them cards or lore, so it's not a great card for the aggro matchup. Our opponent does quest with the Aurora, which lets the next princess or queen cost 1 less. They're able to play Tiana on turn 2, which is very powerful because Tiana's effect says that when challenging any character on their board, you don't pay 3 ink, then your character that's challenging loses 3 strength. We pay 2 for Powerline. We're just setting up our Singer and our Shift line. The Shift line is very important for this deck because it relies heavily on the Powerline synergy and the Powerline effect of playing another 9-cost or less song for free. So our opponent inks and they play a turn 3 Lady, which allows them to play a 2-cost character for free, and they play the new Nala. The Nala quests for 3 and has resist 1 when she's on damage, so very strong. Our opponent chooses not to quest here. Our opponent quests with Aurora, allowing them to play another 2 Ink Tiana, and they set up a Daisy Duck. And now they quest for a total of 7. And they have the Tiana setup, which makes challenging very difficult. However, we're fortunate here. We do have Shift Powerline. So I shift onto the non-singer Powerline, and he sings Under the Sea, which is able to send all of our opponent's characters to the bottom of their deck. So extremely strong, taking away their advantage. They did have lethal on board, which is pretty crazy for turn 4. So now we trigger Powerline's effect. We look at the top 4 cards. We can play a song that costs 9 or less for free. And there's a Pirate's Life there, so we gain 2 lore and our opponent goes back 2 lore. So now the game feels very much in our control considering how strong of an opening they had. And we're able to quest with our other characters because they have an empty board. Our opponent plays a Nala, and that's it. They're very low on cards as a result because they had just finished dumping their entire hand onto the board before the Under the Sea. So we set up a Queen of Hearts, and we do have another copy of Under the Sea in hand. So we're able to send the Nala to the bottom of their deck. It's a little bit wasteful, but it was the only song I had to get a trigger for Powerline to play the second song for free. In this case, we hit Mother Knows Best. And I do return the Bobby to my hand. That way I can play him again to filter through our deck a little bit on the following turn. I should have quested first before doing the Powerline trigger, but that's okay. Our opponent does draw a dock here, which is pretty good. They play dock, and then they set up a penny, giving dock resist. But we ink Bobby. We can now afford to play down Max Goof. Max Goof is incredibly powerful because every time he quests, he plays a song that costs 4 or less from your discard for free. And we have lots of good songs in our discard to use with his effect. And then we quest with our other characters. It's unlikely that they're going to be able to do enough damage to take out our power line here. So our opponent chooses to quest, and then they play Sven, allowing them to ready their penny. The dock is still exposed, which means that we can get a card draw with our Queen of Hearts. The Queen of Hearts challenges dock, allowing us to draw a card. We're just digging for a song at this point to get another trigger for Powerline. We pay 6 for Shark, and now we'll gain 1 lore for every action that we play, which would be quite nice because Max can play actions for free here. We quest for 2 with Max. Bring back Mother Knows Best. I return the penny to hand here. The reason I don't target Sven is that Sven allows them to ready a character, so if we send Sven back, then they quest with penny and ready penny. And then we quest with the rest of our characters. So our opponent plays Lady and Mr. Arrow, who quests for 2 and has resist. And we are threatening lethal on board here. Our opponent doesn't have a way to remove enough stuff to actually prevent lethal. They would have need to remove a 2 quester or both of our 1 questers, and they're not able to do that. So we do win the game there. You can see that this deck, with the tools it has with Powerline, can fight back pretty good against aggro. Being able to play Under the Sea on turn 4 is pretty strong. So this is game 2. My opponent is on the play again. Fortunately here they ink Lawrence but don't have a 1-drop, so that's a slower start, which is good for us. Last game their start was very fast. But we also don't have a 1-drop, so we ink Big Clarabelle. Our opponent doesn't usually keep a lot of cards in hand by the end, and Clarabelle's kind of a late game card, so it's not really useful in this matchup. Our opponent inks, and they play Daisy, so they do get a 1-drop here, but definitely would have been better on curve. We ink Powerline, and we set up Queen of Hearts. The nice thing about Queen of Hearts is that she has a cheap shift into the big Queen of Hearts, who has 4 attack, so she'd be able to take out the exerted Daisy. Our opponent plays turn 3 Lady onto Penny, who gives resist to the Daisy, which kind of foils our plan of shifting the Queen of Hearts and taking out the Daisy. So we ink a Nothing We Won't Do, the big song that's meant for Powerline to play later. And then we play the 3-cost Powerline, who gains rush when you play a song. And we do challenge the Daisy here. The Daisy has resist, so it doesn't take any damage. The reason we do this though is that it enables our Queen's effect, that when she's damaged she gains +3 strength. So now she has 4 strength to challenge with going forward. So it's worth setting that up, even though it didn't do any damage to the Daisy or do anything else to progress our board. But now we could take out cards like Daisy without needing any help. So they do have Lady sing Strength, and then they play Pluto. So they do get rid of the shift option, which is unfortunate for us. So we draw off the Daisy trigger, and then we draw for turn. So we ink another Big Clarabelle. Play 3 for Mother Knows Best. That allows us to get the bodyguard off of the board. And now the Queen of Hearts can challenge and take out any of these characters. We do target the Daisy because she has the most health, and she only does 1 damage back, which means that we can take out Penny or Lady on the following turn. I also consider taking out Penny, but the Daisy could send actions to the bottom, and we don't really want to lose those because we have a lot of actions in our deck. So kind of the trade-off there is that it could get us more cards, but also it could send some critical actions to the bottom, which we want to avoid. Their opponent quests for 4, And they're all the way at 10 already. And now they have the Tiana and Daisy set up here. And we don't have much on the go because we don't have like a shift target for any of our big bruisers. But we do challenge and get rid of Penny. So we ink Max. We pay 1 for Bobby just to filter our deck a little bit more, set up another body. We throw a BKU into the discard, and then we pay 4, and we play a B-King. Our opponent has to choose one of their characters to banish. So they do banish Lady here because she has the least amount of willpower. And then they play down the bodyguard, and then they quest with their Daisy and Tiana. We don't get a card draw off the Daisy this time, which is unfortunate. And now they have a pretty good board setup. Our only hope really here would be like an Under the Sea, but we don't have a way to like shift sing that this turn. They don't have lethal on board, but pretty close here if we don't have the ability to close it out. So we do have enough ink to bounce back the Pluto and then pay 3 for Queen of Hearts to be able to challenge and keep her strength and take out the Tiana. We fought back a little bit, but we're back in the same problem of now we just have a Bobby on board. We don't have any like power lines or Max Goof or any of our big characters to actually threaten their board here. So it still feels like it's going to be very hard to fight our way back. We're not on 7 ink yet. In an ideal world, if we were on 7, then we could draw an Under the Sea. Bobby could challenge Pluto, knocking his health down, and then we could Under the Sea both characters. So we ink Powerline, pay 3 for Max, who can return a 3-cost song for the 1 ink. So we get Mother Knows Best back, and then we're going to pay 3 to play Mother Knows Best and send the Daisy back. We're sending it back because it quests for 2, and the Pluto only quests for 1. So our opponent does have a great lockout here. They're able to play Daisy and Pete, which threatens lethal, and all of our removal and all of our kind of fighting back here is based on actions. There's nothing we can do there, so we scoop it up. So very smart to save the Pete until you have the lethal turn when you're playing against a song or action-based deck. So good game, and now we're going to go on to game 3 where we're on the play. So we start off by inking a 3-cost Powerline. We play Bobby, and we discard a big Clarabelle. She's not going to be helpful for us. And they play Daisy Duck. We ink Queen of Hearts here to play out a Powerline, and we quest with Bobby. So we have enough strength on board now to take out the Daisy if it does quest. Our opponent inks. They play Aurora and the Hamster, and with the Hamster they target Powerline, so now we don't have enough strength to actually take out the Daisy, which is unfortunate. We do get to draw a card off of the Daisy's questing. We ink the Queen of Hearts for 3. We play Powerline. This is a Powerline that gains Rush when you play a song, which is pretty convenient here. So we quest with Bobby, and now Powerline is going to sing You're Welcome on Bobby, which shuffles him in the deck and draws 2. But also equally importantly is that it gives us Rush on our Powerline so we can take out the Daisy, and we get 2 more cards. The You're Welcome is good removal in some cases on your opponents, but against an aggro deck, I'd be very hesitant to give them 2 more cards. So it's nice that we had the 1 drop to target on our side, and now we can get some extra options in our hand, and then the Powerline will take out Daisy here. The other nice thing about this setup is that we've got 2 shift targets now for the big Powerline. So if they do take 1 out, we still have the other one as an option to shift onto. Our opponent pays 3 for Lawrence, and then they don't exert their other characters because of the threat of the challenges from the power lines. So we ink another small power line, and we pay 3 for Max. We're setting him up as a shift target. We don't have any songs that cost 3 or less in our discard, so we don't pay our last ink to return anything to hand. Would have been nice to have a target here, but we don't. I don't want to exert our power lines because now with Lawrence on the board and the other characters, they could take them out and prevent us from shifting. So our opponent does quest here, going up to 6. We do shift our power line, and we quest with our other 2 characters because our power line's about to sing Nothing We Won't Do. So Nothing We Won't Do's effect is that you ready all of your characters. They can't quest for the rest of the turn, but they don't take damage from challenges. And now we look at the top 4 cards to play another song for free. And we choose a Pirate's Life. There was another Nothing We Won't Do there, but there would be no benefit to playing it. The Pirate's Life slows our opponent down on lore and gains us some lore. And now we're able to challenge, so Powerline takes out Lawrence, taking no damage, and then the other 2 characters take out our opponent's other 2 characters. And now we have full board control, and we have pretty big characters set up, and we're ahead on lore, so this feels like a very strong position for us. We ink a card and then pass. Our opponent plays Mr. Arrow and Nala. Last turn they could have played those characters, but they were scared of the Under the Sea line, knowing that we could shift power line so they didn't overcommit. So here we quest for power line, and then we shift our Max Goof. This allows us to play a 4-cost action from our discard for free when he quests, so we do quest. And the only 4-cost action that we have is You're Welcome. So we target our power line, which is going to let us draw 2 more cards. I'm doing this to try and get another song like Under the Sea to trigger Powerline. As long as we get a song, then he can sing it and he can look at the top 4 and maybe hit Under the Sea and wipe our opponent's board here. But it's nice just to get 2 cards drawn. So the action triggers first, finishing the action, which is the shuffling of the deck and drawing 2, and then Max's effect puts the card on the bottom. So we did hit Mother Knows Best, so we bounced the Nala back to hand to look at the top 4, hoping to hit Under the Sea. But we don't end up hitting a song at all. And for our last 2 ink, we play down a Queen of Hearts. Our opponent does play a Pete, which prevents us from using our Max Goof effect and our power line stuff next turn. So they do quest with Mr. Arrow. So for 6, we pay down another Rockstar. We'll have our power line take out their Mr. Arrow. And then we'll quest with the Queen of Hearts. I could quest with Max Goof here, but I'm a little bit hesitant because I don't want them to trade it out, seeing that we do have Mother Knows Best in the discard. We'll be able to play that for free, which would be nice, so I don't want to have them steal that opportunity from us. Our opponent plays Doc and then plays Penny. Our opponent trades their Pete into our damaged Powerline, World's Greatest Rockstar. Our opponent quests for 3 with Nala and passes the turn. We quest with Queen of Hearts, and then we hardcast You're Welcome on Queen of Hearts. We're really looking for the Under the Sea here. We don't hit it, but we do sing Pirate's Life with our power line, and then we can look at the top 4, maybe hitting Under the Sea. We don't hit any songs, which is unfortunate. We quest for 2 with Max. This lets us play a 4-cost or less song from our discard. In this case, we're going to play Mother Knows Best. So it should go on the bottom of my pile here. However, I did accidentally put it back in the discard, so it shouldn't be in the discard anymore. Obviously, we don't want Max Goof to like play the same one over and over again. So that's a bit of an error on my part, getting used to the deck. But I do ink and pay 3 to play another Mother Knows Best. So now we do have at least 1 valid copy in the discard, even though there's currently actually 2 in there. Our opponent plays Tiana and Nala. So for our turn, pay 1 for Bobby, and we do this with no trigger. We're just allowing the Max to quest and play the You're Welcome on Bobby. Just looking for a good song for Powerline to sing. Or maybe set up a shark and then have Powerline sing a song that's in our hand. We play down another Rockstar. We don't have any songs, but we do quest for 2. And at this point, it seems very unlikely that our opponent's going to be able to remove everything with the board that they have. So they go ahead and show us the hand, scoop it up, and that's the match. So our deck does have some pretty good tools to fight against aggro, the Under the Sea, but also the rush characters, the Powerline, the shift on Queen of Hearts. So there are different options there. So this matchup does feel pretty good. Obviously, the well-timed Peats can be our foil, but very well played, and deck does seem to be fun if you want to try it out. That's the match. Thanks for checking out the video. As always, I appreciate all your support. Go ahead, hit the like button, subscribe, leave a comment, let me know what decks you've been playing. Right now, everything seems to be pretty dominated by purple, blue-purple, or purple-steel, which is a little bit boring. So thanks for checking out the video. Cheers.